bringing severe gusts and heavy rain to many parts of the country. A total of 5 wind and rain warnings are in place between 7 a.m. and 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
Well, staying with that, we're joined now by Gerry Murphy, Senior Forecaster with Éireann. Thanks, Gerry, for coming in to talk to us this evening. So there are, as Karen just said there are a number of warnings in place, yellow and orange, for wind and rain. But tell us where it's going to feel it first.
OK, well, the first significant warning is actually the yellow level rainfall warning from 9 p.m. tonight to 9 a.m. in the morning for southern counties. And so we can expect heavy rain to move up over the country overnight. So although we have yellow level rainfall amounts, we will have more significant, possibly orange level flood risk because of the fact that this rainfall is falling on already very saturated ground. So we can expect surface flooding and possibly river flooding as well, especially in those southern counties overnight and early tomorrow. And then as we switch to tomorrow, then it's the winds that become the more significant factor. So our orange level wind warning for southern counties begins at 7 a.m. tomorrow until 3 p.m. and for western counties from 10 a.m. up until 9 p.m. Now, the winds will be strongest in the south during the morning. There is, however, a yellow level wind warning for all areas. So it's going to be a windy day everywhere. But in terms of stormy conditions, the south during the morning and the west and northwest through the late morning, afternoon and evening. And in conjunction with that, those orange level winds will be on the higher side of the orange from Galway Bay northwards. And there's a red level marine warning has been issued from Loophead for Galway Bay area up to Malin for the second half of the day.
We've heard some local authorities saying not to go into perhaps Cork City after 9:30 in the morning because there is a risk of flooding, and also in Waterford to stay away from the car parks near the coast. Are tides going to be a problem as well? Yes,
there is a significant chance of coastal flooding along the south coast especially, and possibly along the west coast as well at high tide tomorrow morning, because we are already in spring tides coupled with the low pressure, coupled with the storm surge, and all these things combined increase the risk of coastal flooding. So certainly during the morning along the south coast, the west coast on morning high tide, and then a possibility of flooding along the east coast during the afternoon at high tide as well. So coastal areas are definitely at risk of some flooding tomorrow due to those high tides, and then that could exacerbate the possibility of river flooding during the morning because the rivers can't get out to the sea during the morning due to those high tides. So in terms of flooding, the risks are mainly in Munster, river flooding, surface flooding, and then coastal flooding, especially along the south coast, west coast during the morning, and possibly the east coast during the afternoon.
And in terms of wind then, because that kicks in later on in the afternoon throughout the day tomorrow all over the country, there are lots of people with Christmas decorations up, trees up in towns and villages across the country. Is that going to be a problem?
Well, certainly in the areas, especially in western counties, it could be a problem. So like with an orange level warning, there is the risk of structural damage and falling trees. And we know how much damage falling trees have caused over the past year. And indeed, in previous storms, people have actually been killed from falling trees. So an orange level warning has to be taken very, very seriously. With regard to the yellow level areas, there is the possibility as well, but mainly for tying down decorations and making sure everything is secured. And as with all storms, minimise travel and activities and take as much care as possible.
All right, Gerry Murphy from Éireann, thank you so much for that.